Hello there, and welcome back to another edition of Silly Car Showdown. Today, well, it was going to happen eventually. We have the Emile P50. This car was requested by Romain, and yeah, it is the smallest car in Forza history. It is tiny. Every single bit about it is tiny. What we're going to do today, of course, is stick a very big engine in it, and then watch it inevitably probably fall over, I'd imagine. Anyways, engine-wise, Romain said about the motorbike engine, and it's the only engine you can put into it, so we're going to go do that. And we're going to get a horsepower bump of 192, and then we'll stick a turbo to it. Of course, no drivetrain swaps are allowed. This thing's actually relatively stable with four-wheel drive. I'm curious to see what it does when it's not four-wheel drive. Sure. I will have the chrome removal. Of course, no Forza Aero is allowed, so we shall do that. I'm assuming that didn't... No, that wasn't adjustable. Okay, what's that weird little... Okay, no, never mind. I'm being stupid. Right. Tyres. We cannot have race tyres. We can have only off-road race tyres. So, basically, like the Unimog. We also can't upgrade the size of them, which is an issue. Right, clutch, gearbox, no options for differential, which is worrying. Also, front anti-roll bars. This thing is rear-wheel drive stock. Okay, so it has... So, what's that roll cage doing? Just adding... Okay. Yeah, it is rear-wheel drive stock, so basically all this power has got to go through one rear wheel. Should be interesting to see. And the PI does not suggest good things. It is B-Class 697, 106 miles an hour. I'll have to take a look at that gearbox. 292 horsepower, 171 foot-pound torque, 500 pounds of weight. I mean, it's one of the best power-to-weight ratios we've ever had. But, yeah, no. I'm not expecting good things from the Peel, I've got to be honest. I'm expecting death, if anything. Yeah, we'll extend that out a little bit. I've always said, if the cars look like... Oh, God. Okay, right. That's interesting. If the cars look like they're going to have crap gearboxes, I do endeavour to try and help them out a little bit with that. Although that's not particularly helped it, and it's also saying 106 miles an hour. Yeah. As far as this goes, I'm expecting the Unimog is going to have some company at the bottom of the board, although that company may be far away. You never know, it might not fall over. Maybe. That might be a bonus. Let's go find out. Well, here we are. Blizzard. Edinburgh. Peel that does that when it revs. Yeah, I'm not expecting great things out of this. Anyways, our leader is the full GT40 EcoBoost with 146.039. Well, the car in last place is the Unimog with a 207.835. If we can beat that, I'll be amazed with the Peel. Oh God. Well, we're starting off. Oh. Yeah, the Peel is about as you'd expect. It's basically not particularly drivable. Also, I should mention that it's going to get 5 laps to set the best time it possibly can. And those 5 laps are probably going to be the longest 5 laps of my entire adult life. Yeah, oh God. It just bucks and weaves and it's not good. Admittedly, as I said, when you put four-wheel drive into the Peel, it's not actually too terrible. It's relatively self-contained. So basically when you go over 50 miles an hour, the rear wheel decides that it doesn't want to be on speaking terms with the front wheels anymore, which is a bit of a problem. Yeah, I thought that Unimog would sort of sit on its own for a while, and then I saw, of course, Romain say Peel, and Yeah, I sort of knew what was going to become of me when I saw that. I'm not expecting a clean lap out of the peel. That's more than the benchmark said. The benchmark said 100 and, what was it, 111? And that was 100 and, oh sorry, the benchmark said 106 and we just did 111, so at least that's something. But no, it's essentially a case of that rear wheel lets go and then that happens. And then apparently the car launches that way, unexpectedly. Yeah. It's not good. It is not good. That's probably... Again, I mean, if you go to this video expecting this to end well, you was obviously stupid. You never know, it might be really good at the switch back. Oh god. Maybe it will not be really good at the switch back. It'll do that at the switch back, and then it'll do a bit of that for good measure. Good job, Peel. Good job. Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, it's really bad. On the plus side, at least it makes every single car that I've driven that has been bad yet, such as the Woody Wagon, at least it makes them look good. Also, that's probably the coolest entry to that corner anyone has ever done ever, so that's something. Anyways, as we come up here to set our first lap in the peel. There we go. Let the power... Whoa! We did 120 and then died, pretty much. Best lap is a 3:06.522. Yeah, it's basically a case of I am literally leaving my finger barely on the throttle to try and make this more controllable than it is. Alright, there we go. Try not to hit a curb because that'll upset to the front end of the car, which will make it all soft and wobbly and jiggly, and then it dies. It's essentially the way the peel goes. Right. Ooh. Be interesting to see how the Trident does. The Trident is also has been recommended. I decided to do the P50 first, just because I don't know. I was more curious, and also the Trident was recommended by Thunder, and Thunder had a car. Well, Thunder had the first car to go around. I'm sort of trying to get to everyone's sort of first requests before I dive into the second ones too much. That being said, it's just a case of me basically looking at the sheet and deciding what I want to drive there and then, so... Essentially with me, it comes down to the more unconventional and interesting your request is, the more likely it is to show up. Although, don't take that as like a... If you request, I don't know, what's a pretty normal car people would request this series? Ooh, God. I know, let's say you request the E60. Just because you've requested the E60 doesn't necessarily mean that it'll... Ooh, God. Or like, I don't know. I guess this P50 would have been the best example, but... The Minor. Alright, Morris Minor, let's do that. Just, if you've requested the Morris Minor, even though for me it's a little bit of more of a predictable car, you know, sort of the absurdist, silly stuff people have done a lot with, for example, the Peel. You can request stuff like that, don't get me wrong, and I'm quite happy to drive it, and at the end of the day, this series is yours. It's basically a case of what you guys want me to drive. I haven't chucked any of my own stuff in yet. Trust me, with the amount of requests I've got, I don't think I'm going to have a chance to chuck any of my own ideas in. But usually if it's something that's a bit more out of the box, a little bit more interesting, for example, the GT40 EcoBoost idea, a couple of other stuff like that. I've gotten quite a few things that really intrigue me, and you'll probably see the stuff that really intrigues me over the stuff that sort of is, you know, whatever at first. But again, that doesn't mean to say it isn't going to happen. It just means to say usually. the more I'm intrigued by an idea, the more I want to do an idea, is the more you'll see me do it. Also, we set like a 245, 232, so yeah, it's probably going to be a case of it's going to get slightly quicker each time. It's just not a good car. I mean, that's, at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to, is the peel is not good. Nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of cars that aren't good in this world, but yeah, if you expected it to set land speed records and be quicker than the Unimog, you are, of course, mistaken. I do find it odd the power is going through the rear wheel. I'm surprised it's not. Well, I guess it wouldn't make sense to be front wheel drive, considering the car has the engine in the middle. 190. I mean, the actual sort of speed of the car, once it sort of gets in a direction and wants to keep going in that direction and you're careful with it, it's actually pretty good, speed-wise. And I definitely think this quarter throttle idea works better. As soon as I start trying to really put some power down, it just does not end well. I think half the issue with this car is it's the lack of differential upgrades. That rear tyre is just spinning constantly. I guess it makes sense as to why there's no rear differential, because, well, obviously, a differential's supposed to control two wheels, not one wheel. But I mean, you can sort of see the assembly of how that rear wheel works. That was almost... Ooh. That was actually probably one of the best takings of the little switchblade I've seen so far. But... oh god, it's just atrocious. I don't know how much upgrading you can actually do to the stock engine. I'd suggest it's probably quicker doing the motorbike engine and crashing a lot than, you know, upgrading the standard 4 horsepower unit probably to 20 horsepower, I'd imagine it can get-ish. So, maybe that'll be more your bag, but, yeah. And I've still got 2 laps to do in the peel. That lap is no quicker. We'll see what we can do. 125 miles an hour. That's very impressive and also very terrifying. Ooh, a little bit of a slide, a little bit more of a slide. The rear wheel is trying to break loose on me. If I can get under a 240 in this, I'll be happy. There we go. It is basically one-wheel drive, which is not a good thing. I will say, to its credit, it's doing a lot better than you'd expect a car with one wheel to deal with, you know, a new 300 horsepower diving through the back of it, but still ain't great. This way, sort of, you didn't see that. There we go. Yeah, as long as you run quarter throttle, it's actually not the worst thing in the world. It's just nowhere near the best thing in the world either. There we go. 123 down there. I believe that's our slowest car yet. But again, Peel, are you particularly surprised? It just sort of bucks and rolls a little bit. There we go, stick that power down some more. Front end is very soft. So one takeaway from this is that front end is very, very soft. Despite having anti-roll bars and whatever the hell in it. There we go. And it's a good taking of the switch. It can do the switchback pretty well. I'll give it that. It can do switchblade pretty well, but I always switch between switchback and switchback and switchblade for some reason. He smashed into a post and basically ruins that lap time. Bollocks. Poor Peel. I keep cocking it up for the poor bastard. Oh well. I think this might actually be able to do a 230 if I can not fuck up. So, let's try and do that. Not fuck up. course it's me though, so it's kind of hard to do. And we're going to go for a spin. Right, I'll tell you what. We are going to go and grab ourselves a little bit of a run-up. I'd also be curious to see what this would be like on race tyres, as well as compared to the off-road tyres it unfortunately has to sit on. I have no idea why it's only allowed off-road tyres. But, there you go. Right, there we go. A little bit of speed down there, a little bit of brakes, a little bit more brakes. Try to stop it going slideways. Smash into his specials board. A little bit of speed, there we go, cool. A little bit more speed. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Oop, God. Again, there's definitely a good amount of skill points coming from driving something as ridiculous as this. It's the one thing I will say. My fucking God. Right. There we go. On the speed. 120 miles an hour. I mean, again, it does better than the benchmark predicts, because I think the benchmark is saying 0 to 60 in 8 seconds and a top speed of 106. It can comfortably get over that. Ooh. I wonder how much speed you could actually do in this. I think with four-wheel drive the top speed is 150, so I'm assuming it's somewhere in that region normally, if you will. So far we've managed an entire lap without a fuck up. Whoa! That was almost a fuck up, but it got through the switchblade pretty well, so can't complain about that. You can just sort of see that one little tyre mark coming out of there. It's kind of like the Woody in the sense that elevation really doesn't agree with this thing. Fuck's sake. Well, at least we're pointing in a semi-right direction as we smash into a bus stop. Come on, Peel, get settled. There we go. Can we get that under 230 that I wanted? It's going to be close. Blast off towards the line. It's going to be a 229.852 for the little Peel. Thank fuck that's over. This is not good. It's not good. It's just... It's basically as you'd expect, to be honest with you. I mean, again, it's impressed me slightly, in the sense that I was not expecting to get any higher than 3 minutes. So, I'll give it that, but I was not quite expecting it to be this level of skittish that it is. Anyways, of course, as you expect, it goes into 8th place, because it's the slowest car we've had. It's 22 seconds off of the Unimog. It's almost 45 seconds off of the GT40 EcoBoost. Yeah. It's the Peel. Did you expect anything different from it? I certainly didn't. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching this edition of a Silly Car Showdown. As always, if you want to request cars for this series, you can ride a loud bicycle past my house at midnight and be a complete wanker. Or alternatively, you can comment below in the videos, whether you're on my channel or on HG Central. Either one will do. You can also come into my public Discord server, the link below in the description if you're watching this on my channel. And there is a little requests chat there, and you can request stuff in there, which is the best place to do it. Also in the description there is a link to cars that everyone else has requested, so if you want to go ahead and take a look at that. There's also some further rules for requests in there as well, just to make things a little bit clearer for you. But yeah, also if you want to check out my channel, down below in the link on HG Central, it's the first link you'll see. And if you want to see these videos a day or too early, depending on how much I fuck up my upload schedule, you can do that. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a farewell.